Focus, 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 focus. Today's video is gonna be a lot of fun. Fun, 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 fun. Hello, and welcome back to Me Screaming Into the Void, or welcome to Me Screaming Into the Void. If you don't know me, I am Sam. I talk about horror movies and horror adjacent movies every single week on Mondays. As you might have read by the title, today we are talking about horror gems that are hidden on Tubi and you wouldn't find if you didn't go digging for them for a couple of hours. Trust me, I would know. I went digging.
Really?
This is just a tiny little list that I made. Tiny. 24 movies on this list, but sure, let's call it tiny. And I thought I would share them with you. I looked at Tubi at first and I was like, no, right? Can't. You can't be having any good movies, could you? You would not believe the things I found under art house and drama. I'm not joking. I went digging so you don't have to, and I found a couple of golden nuggets. And yes, I'm aware that Tubi has these ads that keep jump scaring you in the middle of movies, but I have a solution for that. And I also have a solution for people who don't live in the US. I have divided it up into 6 categories. We have, you will not be surprised by now for those who have been here for long enough, unhinged horror comedies, found footage. No surprise, right? Unhinged horror comedies and found footage, everyone is like, yeah, duh. What did we expect? However, I have some more. The Gory and the Gnarly, Cruel People, Mindbending Nightmares, and Spooky Ghosties. And a little tiny bonus at the very end of it. Let's start with the first category, unhinged horror comedies. First movie we're talking about, Deathgasm, 2015, from New Zealand. It's about teen metalheads who accidentally summon a demon, the Blind One, via cursed sheet music and black magic. It's beautiful DIY gore practical effects. Not surprising because it's directed by the visual effects artist turned director Jason Howden. He's also the one who directed Guns Akimbo. People tend to hate this movie. I don't get why. Yes, it's been done before, but there's just something about Daniel Radcliffe in an action movie with 2 guns stuck to his hands that just did it for me. Why watch it? It's pure splatter, chaotic fun with real heart and awesome practical effects by main reactor. They are also the same people who did 30 Days of Night and Evil Dead 2013. The vibe is loud, metal, and gloriously gory. If you want to look for it, you might find it under music and comedy. Next movie, Some Like It Rare, 2021, France. After accidentally killing a vegan activist, a butcher couple starts selling humans to boost their meat sales. It's as great as it sounds. It's directed by Fabrice Eboué, and you should watch it because it's hilarious with a cutting social satire on food culture these days. The vibe is dry, dark, and delightfully French. Search tip, you might find it under foreign films or comedy. Next movie, Bloody Hell, Australia, 2020. Remember we had talked in my unhinged list about Frontière? This is what would happen if Frontière were a comedy. A man moves to Finland after having been in prison and wakes up in a basement without a leg. I will not say more because this list is spoiler free. It's directed by Alistair Grierson and you should watch it because it's hilarious. It's brutal. The Finnish protagonists are played by Australians, and it's the first of a planned trilogy. Mr. Alistair Grierson, I would love to see the next 2 movies, please, and thank you. Your IMDb page has not shown any signs of the next 2 movies because this movie was bloody fun. It flips its tonality mid-movie. It's a dark comedy must-watch in my opinion. Search tip, you might want to check it out under thriller or adventure. Listen, I don't know if these movies are really in those categories that I'm telling you in the search tip. I just know for a fact that when I went on the category of horror, I was very much taken aback at how little there was. And most of these movies I found either through the search bar or by browsing all the other categories. And honestly, I was in such a browsing frenzy that I completely forgot to check which category I was going through while looking for all these movies. Next comedy, zombie strippers. Now listen. I like this movie so much. I got the DVD, okay? So for those who've seen the movie and are saying that it's crap, okay. The point of movies is that you find it crap and I like it. But I absolutely enjoy this movie so much. I have friends telling me, why? I do not have a straight answer for it. I don't. I absolutely do not have a straight answer for why this movie gives me so much joy, except that it's exactly the kind of comedies that make me happy. Lots of gore, lots of splatter, Robert Englund, Jenna Jameson as a zombie stripper. It's about strippers in a Nebraskan stripper joint that become undead. And the undead become a political satire. It's directed by Jay Lee. It's a very campy political satire with a lot of blood, guts, and billiard balls coming out of places that they shouldn't be coming out of. Was I surprised that they came out of those places? Yes. The story is allegedly inspired by Eugene Ionesco's play Rhinoceros, in which citizens of a small French village inexplicably turn into titular animals one by one. As a little nod to that, Robert Englund's character is literally called Ian Esco. Also, fun fact, all of the strippers, when they turn into zombies, are articulate, and the men are just ravenous zombies, which just made me even more happy. Just watch the movie and then let me know. Plus, my absolute favorite quote is when they stand there and they're like, they're zombies. No, they're strippers. They're zombie strippers. Do we need more? I don't think so. Have there been more intelligent movies made? Yes. Have they given me as much pleasure as zombie strippers have? No. The vibe is ridiculous, absurd, and very self-aware. Also very sleazy. Be aware, you might not want to watch this movie with your parents. I give you a warning, okay? If you sit down with your parents and watch this movie, don't give me any grief about it. Search it, you might find it under comedy or cult. Maybe not cult. Definitely comedy. Next category, found footage. Found footage time, found footage time. I'm gonna start doing that every time I say found footage.
Stop it.
First movie we're talking about, The Taking of Deborah Logan, 2014. As you know, I love my found footage. If you didn't know, watch my reacts to all the found footage. It's a documentary. It's a faux documentary on Alzheimer and gets more and more unsettling as the movie moves along. The director is Adam Robitel, the same one who did Escape Room. Again, a movie where I'm like, I had my fun. It wasn't the most intellectually stimulating movie ever, but there was a bunch of people and they were in escape rooms and they died. Why watch it? It delivers one of the strongest twists found in found footage, and your jaw will be dropping by the end of it. The vibe is dreadful reality of losing your mind. Search tip is you might find it under documentary. Who knows? Next one. Oh, I love this one so much. Deadstream. 2022. It's about a disgraced streamer who goes live ghost hunting to win back his followers and, of course, upsets something supernatural. I love it because it very much reflects the Twitch streamer, kick streamer, YouTube vibe. It takes all these tropes that we keep getting from these YouTubers and streamers in general, pokes fun at them, and also shows what would happen if one of those streamers actually messed with the wrong supernatural forces. Am I going to tell you which one? No! Just go watch the movie. It's directed by Vanessa and Joseph Winter, and they were very influenced by Rec. It stars Joseph Winter, because of course it does. Why watch? It's Twitch horror. The vibe is definitely Rec meets Twitch. Found footage meets cringe comedy with very unexpected scares. Search tip, you might find it under thriller and definitely comedy. The Sacrament, 2013. A Vice news team investigates the Eden Parish cult, and as usual, the very nice and flowery exterior hides something more sinister. It's directed by Ty West, who you might know from X and Pearl. If you don't, I highly suggest you watch X and Pearl. Did not like Maxine. Didn't like it. Why watch it? It's documentary style cult horror. The vibe is very slow turn and has a massive gut punch in the very end. Search tip, you might find it under documentary and thriller. Final Prayer, aka Borderlands, 2013 from the UK. This movie was a fun romp. No, it's not funny. No, it's not comedy, but Vatican investigators getting haunted. It's about these Vatican investigators who find out that miracles are not always divine. It's directed by Elliot Goldner. You should watch it because it's terrifyingly effective ending. The vibe is holy dread, bleak, unsettling found footage. Search tip, you might find it under religion. Third category, Gory Gnarly. Now listen, I don't know if you have noticed, but I went into a deep dive.
You don't say.
And this is obviously filled with some of my favorites and those that make me happy. How else am I supposed to tell you which movies to watch if those movies don't make me happy? I can't just tell you about movies that other people find good, I might not find good, and tell you to watch for what reason now? Exactly. Gory and Gnarly. It says it all. These are the one-man show mostly against a whole bunch of teenager tourists or what have you. The first one we're going to talk about is Hatchet, 2006. When I watched this movie the first time, I had nightmares. I don't know why this movie got so under my skin, but it did. And I was not okay. Now I can watch it as a comedy. But at that time, when I had watched it the first time, I was not okay. What is it about? Tourists, New Orleans, haunted swamp tour, and a swamp killer called Victor Crowley. Director, Adam Green. The slasher is played by Kane Hodder. He is the same person who did Friday the 13th, New Blood, Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason Goes to Hell, etc. Why watch it? It has practical effects by the late John Carl Buechler, and it's dripping with homage to the 80s slasher gore. The vibe is simple, fun, and a fan service drenched in blood. You might find this movie under action. You just might. Next movie. We have talked about this movie before on my Unhinged list. It's back because it's Project Wolf Hunting. How could I not? When I saw that it was on Tubi, I was like, did anybody else notice that Project Wolf Hunting is on Tubi? No, just me. It's from South Korea, 2022, and it's about a prison ship full of some of the most dangerous criminals that turns into an absolute bloodfest. Also, it has one of my favorite scenes ever of a man tearing off another man's arm and then hitting the other man with his own arm. The small joys in life. It's directed by Kim Hong-soon. Sir, thank you so much for this movie, but we need a part 2. Why watch it? It's K-horror meets action gore mayhem. The vibe is hyper-violent and bonkers. Search tip, mostly you would find it under action. I feel bad for anybody who is in the action category and doesn't like horror because you're in for a treat. Next movie. Yummy, 2019 from Belgium. It's a zombie virus outbreak at a plastic surgery clinic in Eastern Europe. It's directed by Lars Damoiseau. Why watch it? Because it's gross out fun with a dark humorous streak and awesome practical effects. The vibe is very much fast-paced, funny, and filthy, and the main protagonist, beautiful. Search tip, you might find it under comedy or foreign films. Next movie. Cabin Fever, 2002. Friends face a flesh-eating virus in a cabin. Fun fact, Eli Roth got this idea for this movie while working in Iceland on a horse farm, and he got such a bad skin irritation from the rotting hay in the barn that his face broke out in sores, bled, and peeled off when he was shaving. I'm laughing because if you've seen the movie, you know that there is a scene where she's shaving herself and there is skin coming off with it. It's directed by Eli Roth. Why watch it? It's a blend of gross out body horror and comedy. The vibe is very itchy, very bloody, and darkly funny. There's just something about cabins in the woods that make me happy. Search tip, you might find it under comedy or thriller. Next category of movies, cruel people. We are gonna get doozies right now. Why? Because apparently I like to make you suffer, and the worst monsters, as we have learned from most of horror movies, are human. First one we are gonna touch upon is Speak No Evil. No, not the remake. Get that stuff out of your head. The original is from 2022 and it's from Denmark, Netherlands. It's about a Danish family. Sorry, I'm mad. I hated Blumhouse's version. Not even McAvoy could save this movie. And I like McAvoy. It's about a Danish family who visits a Dutch family they had met on a holiday in Italy. It gets alarmingly dark and twisted. Tafrup, the director, got this idea for the movie because he met a family on his travels. They did invite him and his family over to their place and he never went, but it stuck so in his head that he had to make a movie about it. He also assures us that that family was definitely not the same as in the movie. It's just that his head took that idea and made it into this movie. I feel so bad for the family who invited him. They must be such nice people. Then they see this movie and he's like, oh, it's been inspired by this family. And they're like, oh, we need to change our ways of talking to people, I guess, or we should just not talk to people at all. Why watch? It's realism so bleak that it's unbearable. The vibe is creepy, escalating social horror. Search tip, you might find it under drama. Next movie, Inside, 2007, France. Anybody who likes French extreme horror movies, you must have heard about Inside. For me, personally, that was the first movie I watched that got me into French extreme horror. It's about a pregnant woman who fights a home invader at Christmas Eve. Directed by Alexandre Boustillot and Julien Maury, the same people who did Deep House. I liked Deep House. Why watch? It's relentlessly extreme, brutal body maternity horror. Once the home invasion starts, it just goes and goes and goes and goes. There is household items being used for all the wrong reasons. The vibe is unrelenting French extreme horror at its most visceral. You might find it under foreign or thriller. Next movie, Incident in a Ghostland, 2018, from France, Canada. Two sisters endure horrific trauma in a house where they had already endured trauma 16 years prior. It's directed by Pascal Laugier from Martyr. Why watch it? It's unrelenting, twisted, and emotionally harrowing. The vibe is haunted house meets human cruelty with doll vibes. I was very unsettled and creeped out when I watched the movie. Search tip, you might find it under thriller. I keep laughing because I feel bad for the people who land in certain categories looking for specific movies that aren't horror. They don't like horror and then they just land into horror territory without realizing it. Next movie, Eden Lake, 2008, UK. A romantic getaway turns into a violent nightmare when a couple is tormented by aggressive teens. The director is James Watkins, the same person who directed Speak No Evil, the remake. Why did you accept this movie? Why? Eden Lake was fun. What happened here? It stars Michael Fassbender and Kelly Riley. Why watch it? Because it's merciless, it's bleak, it's brutal, and it has zero redemption qualities. This category is a doozy. It's cruel people. None of these movies have a happy ending. The vibe is terrifyingly realistic and kids are the worst. Search tip, buried under thrillers. Next category, Mindbending Nightmares. We are starting off strong with Color Out of Space, 2019, about a secluded farm which is struck by an aerolite. I did not know that there are not just meteorites, but there are also aerolites, which is melting into the earth and infecting everything around it. Directed by Richard Stanley and starring nobody else but Nicolas Cage. Why watch it? It's Lovecraftian, it's psychedelic, and it's Cage Unhinged. The vibe is purple, pulsing, cosmic, body horror, dread, and I love it. There is this one scene where Cage just... And...
What?
I'm not gonna say more. I just don't want to spoil it for you. Search tip, you might find it under sci-fi. Next movie, The Coffee Table, 2022, Spain. When I tell you that I was not ready for what this movie had in store for me, that's an understatement. I had my jaw drop to the floor. Listen, do not Google it. Do not trailer it. Go in blind and just let it take you over. It's about Jesus and Maria. Yes, those names were chosen on purpose, who have just become parents. And Jesus decides to buy a cursed furniture coffee table that leads to an escalating nightmare. I have seen this movie I think 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm still not okay. It's directed by Calle Casas. Why watch it? Because it's a one location, oppressing, dreadful family affair that will leave you questioning why and how. The vibe is very much slow burn nightmare. And it might be misfiled under drama, which I'm like, no, what are you doing? What if there is 2 people who have just become parents and have a baby and then they watch this movie and they get traumatized? Next movie, Vivarium, 2019, Ireland. A couple looking for a perfect home is trapped in a maze-like neighborhood. Directed by Lorcan Finnegan, the surfer, massive fan of the movie, also a big fan of this movie, and it stars Imogen Poots and Jesse Eisenberg. Why watch? It's suburban hell, little boxes on a hillside. The vibe is very much surreal suburban nightmare. Search tip, you might find it under science fiction. Next movie, Hereditary, 2018. A grieving family is haunted by unspeakable evil inherited by their ancestry. It's devastating, nightmare-inducing modern horror, directed by Ari Aster, who also directed Midsommar, which I like a lot. It's starring the amazing Toni Collette and Alex Wolff. Why watch it? It's a modern masterpiece of dread, and it has Toni Collette screaming at Alex Wolff,
I am your mother!
Yes, you are. Toni Collette. Some actresses just... It's so good. The vibe is crushing dread, relentless supernatural horror. This was one of those movies I actually found under horror, so good on Tubi. Last category, spooky ghosties. These are the slow burns, haunted whispers, and stories that chill you without drowning in blood. First one we are talking about is The Innkeepers, 2011, about 2 hotel clerks who investigate the paranormal rumors during their last shift at the historic Yankee Peddler Inn. The director is Ty West. Yes, we have 2 of his movies in here. Why watch it? Because it's a ghost story that builds tension through character and setting instead of just jump scaring you to death. The vibe is nostalgic, spooky atmosphere. Search tip is you might just find it under indie. The Babadook, 2014, Australia. A grieving mother and her son are terrorized by an eerie figure, Mr. Babadook, that comes from a mysterious pop-up book. It's directed by Jennifer Kent. Why watch it? It's a psychological horror staple with a deeply symbolic creature in it. The vibe is tense, disturbing, and heartbreakingly powerful, where grief truly becomes monstrous. The actors are amazing. The boy actor is just so sweet, so believable. Thank you so much, Jennifer Kent, for this gem. Search tip, you might find it under family drama. The Wailing, 2016, South Korea. A rural village is struck by a mysterious sickness caused by a stranger. A cop goes to investigate the plague and discovers something way more sinister. Bam, bam, bam. This movie goes very much along the lines of When Evil Lurks and is directed by Na Hong-jin. Why watch it? It's a masterful blend of horror, mystery, and folklore. The vibe is terrifyingly and deeply unsettling, and you just might find it under foreign movies or thrillers. Next movie, Ghost Stories. A skeptical professor investigates 3 unexplained spooky cases: asylum horror, woodland terror, and a chilling supernatural birth, and all 3 culminate into one wonderful twist. It's recounted as an anthology, and I like that in the end it just converges into one and makes you go, what? unexpected unexpectations. Who would have expected? Not me. It is directed by Jeremy Dyson and Andy Neiman and is starring Andy Neiman and Martin Freeman. Why watch it? It's a very smart British horror anthology that blends emotional depth with classic horror. The vibe is atmospheric, eerie, and very cleverly structured. Search tip: you just might find it under mystery. Bonus! Black Bear 2020, Aubrey Plaza, Queen. That's why this is a bonus, because it's not really horror. It's more something else. You can't even call it thriller. It's like something else. Just watch it. Trust me, Stranger in the Void. I know what I'm talking about. It's about a filmmaker, Aubrey Plaza, stuck creatively, who goes to a retreat at a lakeside cabin in the woods. The original was cut from 4 hours. I would like to see those 4 hours, Mr. Lawrence Michael Levine, please. And thank you, because this movie was amazing. There is nobody else that really matters in this movie except for her. And she just brings out all the stops. Why watch it? Because it's meta, unsettling, and it's a disorienting trip into the human psyche. The vibe is indie horror disguised as drama, in my opinion. Search tip: you just might find it under drama or art house. For all of you who stayed until now, thank you so much. Here is a little tidbit to make your Tubi viewer experience a little more fun and ad-free. So there is this little browser, right? And it's called Brave. If you download Brave and you watch the movies on there, you will not get any ads. Don't tell anyone.
That's awesome!
Obviously, I tested it. How do you think I can watch all these movies without going crazy? Because there is a jump scare ad just coming at me. And yes, if you download a VPN and you put it on USA, you can also watch movies on Tubi without being in the USA. I tested it. It works. Have you found any of these movies yet on Tubi? I found an entire treasure trove of them, so watch out for part 2. Tubi is a dumpster fire, but dig a little deeper and you will find a treasure trove of good horror movies under the wrong category. And if you can't find me, just follow my screens. Okay, bye!